As a child, I grew up on the farm. Every day, I was surrounded by yam, cassava, fruits, and vegetables. As I grew up, I never knew people eat 3 square meals a day. The fact that my parents were subsistent farmer does not mean we had enough food to eat all the time. There are some times we had to go hungry. I could remember vividly. There was a time we did not eat for 3 days. I was so weak that I couldn't walk. I had to tie a piece of cloth round my waist to hold my empty stomach in and to avoid feeling hungry. I experienced hunger and went to bed hungry as a child, not because my parents were lazy or irresponsible. My father was a subsistent farmer dedicated to his work. My mother also helped my father in his farm, in addition to having our own patch of growing vegetables. There are some seasons we experience high losses of our produce after harvest due to high temperature that lead to rapid biochemical changes in fresh produce, and because of inadequate storage and preservation facilities. There was a time my parents harvested large proportion of their farm produce for sales on the market day. Unfortunately, the vehicle that was supposed to transport the produce to the market developed mechanical faults. We had to wait for 2 days before we could transport the produce. During this waiting period, more than half of the crop rotted, and we had to discard them. I was heartbroken, seeing how the time, money, and efforts invested by my parents were wasted. And even sometimes, when we are lucky enough to reach the market, if sales is not as good as expected, the remaining food products usually deteriorate a day after returning from the market, and even within 2 to 3 days after harvest. This is the main reason I often went to bed hungry as a child. When I was opportune to choose a course of study for my university degree, I decided to choose food science as a discipline because of my intention of helping farmers prevent their crop waste, which I knew firsthand leads to food insecurity. As a food scientist, my research focuses on food and nutrition security and post-harvest management. My goal is to provide healthy food for children and other vulnerable groups and help farmers extend their crop shelf life. I've worked on value addition to preserve fruits and vegetables with the aim of reducing post-harvest losses and to ensure that they are available to enrich the diet of children and ensure that no child goes to bed hungry. Developing analytical method for detection of natural plant toxins to ensure that safe food is available to everyone has been part of my journey. We are currently putting together a research project that will lead to resilience of smallholder farmers by increasing availability of nutritious food and also help reduce poverty among them. Because this research is not only looking at nutrition, it is also looking at market opportunity. And when I talk about market opportunity, I remember those days that my parents would be trying to reach the market and lose all their produce because of something like transport. One key impact of this project is to ensure that there is a reduction in demand on food system, and it is in line with SDG Indicator 12, which is to reduce post-harvest loss by 50% and reduce environmental impact of organic wastes. For me, I am happy and glad that this SDG is actually there because it will encourage other scientists like me who might not have gone through the challenges that I did when I was growing up to now start thinking on how we can all work together as to reducing post-harvest loss. We can put all our resources together to work the solution out. Today, my story is no longer unique. We are all facing the high prices of food due to rapid changes in our weather patterns. My family story is replicated each and every day. The high prices of food is affecting everyone, whether you are a Kenyan, Italian, Ethiopian, Malawian, or a Nigerian. In fact, all of us are spending larger percentage of our income on food. Given that we are all facing this tough reality, it is more incumbent on all of us to make sure that whatever seed is planted and harvested makes it to the table, that it is not a representation of a farmer's efforts and livelihood that had gone to waste. It is not soil fertility that had gone to waste. It is not land and water and labor that are wasted when post-harvest losses happens. Beyond water, it is a woman who has carried water all the way from the river to her garden. It is somebody who woke up so early to make sure he is able to weed his crop. All these efforts are wasted due to post-harvest losses. And because we cannot afford to waste in this situation of high food prices and unreliable climates, we all have to do something. I have seen how my parents suffered on the farm and the huge losses they encountered due to post-harvest losses. All of us are affected by high prices of food. Farmers and people who live on the farm do not have to suffer. There is a way we can reduce food loss after harvest and increase food availability. If we don't do something now, we'll all be losing out to food insecurity. The time is now. The science is needed now. The leadership of scientists and policymakers are needed now. I'm calling on you to support my research on development of sustainable post-harvest management technology for smallholder farmers in Africa, so that you and I can make that change, so that no child should go to bed hungry. Thank you.